Welcome to TradeTheMBI.com. This is John's Reporters for the 27th. As we get to month end, we got a little bit more of that fill back. We were expecting that we'd had to come back to something. We're just coming back to the ABM yellow, which is that mid-range between the 76% and 100%. But all in all, everything's still strong. A little bit of increase in short activity, but that should be enough to be the next driver of things going forward. We're meeting a DOC spread potential right there. That's an important one because break back up of midterm buyers here would definitely be a rejection of shorts and drive things further. You got a complete steel reset virtually here down at the negative 7.5. So everything's in position again for bulls. It's just a question of will they pull the trigger for additional move. The potential's there. There are a lot of other difficulties within the economic situation. So how much more room is there? Of course, your Magnificent Seven continue to drive, the broader market, but that, rising, tide lifts all boats. So they've been the bellwether that has pushed everything else up, and the smaller caps and that tend to follow right behind. And in this case, they have. We can see you already have that DOC spread developing on the Nasdaq. So we'll see how that plays out throughout the day, because of course that isn't finalized. We have to look at the previous day actual meeting point. So that's where we currently are reading. From a Treasury standpoint, again, they still believe that rate cuts are coming now, just later in July as opposed to March. It's a funny one because all we have to do is look at oil and say whether that is a likelihood or not. And at this particular stage, unless you see some kind of catastrophic dump in oil, no rate cut. It's not happening. From a Euro standpoint, continue its eke higher for no good reason, simply because there's just no justification for it. But that's okay. Counter trade, too many people positioned to the negative side of it, so that makes it an easy play to get some short covering. And that's what we watch the pattern over and over as they push up, and then it gets driven right back down to its relative strength. And again, the ECB is nowhere close to where the Fed is as far as yields and that, so what's the incentive? Nobody knows. But that's why trading vehicles are just that. You're trading on a potential future, and that is an interesting point when it comes to value. It simply becomes who has more resources to devote one direction or another. The slow imprint of gold, still behind where I think it should probably start to push, but it's definitely going to get there. And I think we're already seeing that as it develops in the crypto space. Bitcoin pushing back towards its all-time highs. No surprise with that. The more you keep printing and you get closer and closer to the Bitcoin halving for miners and that, there's only so much supply. And again, whether you believe in it or not, or even ETH, the construct is still the same. The more we move towards a digital society and everything else, these alternatives become, why the governments around the world are all leading towards a centralized digital currency. From a 50K standpoint, we had the big move up, consolidation. Now we've reached the 50% mark, filling in a few more of the positive extremes. Where did we get down to? We got right to about there, which was just after this last yellow print, which was right down at the 69 level, which would be a pretty decent fill back. I don't know that we're going to yet get to the original breakout point, which was on the low right there at 50.32. That would be a bit more of an extreme kind of sell condition. It just would depend on whether there was enough sell supply, and I think that would have to be something news driven. You can see in the post market right now, we're just hovering off of where the late day selling was from yesterday, and literally we had the early punch up, and it was mostly down throughout the day and just kind of moderate. And this is that month end kind of like battle back and forth. A lot of gains have been acquired. Take some profits, lock them up, print your nice number for the month, and then prepare for new fund money to come in at the start of the month and get ready for the breakout of March Madness as those catalysts are really going to be interesting, because then you're going to get into full election swing, and that's going to have some really interesting modalities as that starts to take hold. So getting ready for some excitement. Things are already starting to shape up for a move. I think it's going to be an exciting, good one. So we're looking forward to it. As always, though, anything relevant, I will put on the Skype chat. Have a good one. Trade well.